Alright guys, welcome back. So collaborations are a big part of Grand Cross. At the end of every month, we always get a big festival or we get a big collaboration. It's always one of the two. And the way I see collaborations, it's almost like a what if Netmarble had made Grand Cross for a different IP, the see any characters playing game. And honestly, some of my favorite characters are literally from these collabs, mainly because they get a lot of love. And recently, we got some dev notes that gave a little bit insight about what we could see in 2025. And of course, today we're going to be breaking down every single possible collaboration we could see come towards Grand Cross in 2025. Using, of course, the patterns that we've been given for the last few years now. So today, we're either going to shatter your dreams or maybe give some hope towards your favorite anime or manga coming towards 76 Grand Cross. Let's jump into it. But before we get into that, guys, I don't really say too much, so I'm going to change it up this year. But if you guys are new, definitely subscribe. If you want to see more high quality, the highest quality content you're going to see on Grand Cross on YouTube, then this is the right place to be. We have some big goals for this year, so hey, start subscribing. So the whole reason why I'm making this video and I want to start talking about possible collaborations is because of the dev notes they made a few days ago now, what they do say regarding collaborations in 2025. We know that many nights are eagerly anticipating collaborations featuring heroes from other universes, while 2024 focus on reruns of past collaborations. We're excited to share that 2025 will bring new collaborations featuring brand new heroes for the first time. But even though it does say we're going to get new collaborations, it doesn't say we're only going to get new collaborations. If you look at the wording, they do say 2024 was focusing on reruns, but we did get a new Tower of God collaboration. So while we do have 4 slots in the year to get collaborations, I do imagine 3 of them will be new, with one of them being a rerun. So now it's time to break down how we get collaborations and how even in the past, I myself and many other people are able to almost predict what collab is coming without any previous knowledge of any leaks. And the reason how we're able to predict it is because, well, the patterns of how we get collaborations are actually pretty common. And it's because we get collaborations by 4 simple ways. Okay, so let's break down how we get collaborations. There's 4 ways. The first way is through Netmarble. Whenever Netmarble owns another game, they typically sometimes collab with Grand Cross. The next one is Kodansha. Kodansha does own 70 Sins and also Fortnite Apocalypse, and we've already seen some Kodansha IPs in the game too. The next way is almost like impossible, but like it is a way we get collaborations, and I guess it's Netflix. This one is very likely, but is worth mentioning. And the final way, and this one's definitely more broad and it's very subjective a little bit, and that is with what I'm calling third parties. So let's jump back towards Netmarble and go over what Netmarble collaboration we could see going into 2025. So if we look at the collaboration we've gotten so far, it's Tower of God, King of Fighters, and those are the only 2 we've gotten that are from Netmarble. However, there are still 2 more actual Netmarble games that are one actually out and are coming out that are very likely to be coming towards 70 and Grand Cross, and that is Solo Leveling. Most people I think are expecting this one, and I do imagine we could even see come as early as January. And to give some more like tease towards it, Kevin, a person who works at Netmarble, has literally responded to someone who said he don't want a solo level collaboration by saying, well, too bad, you'll get one soon. So yeah, expect a solo leveling collaboration. The next one is Shangri-La Frontier. Netmarble is literally making a Shangri-La Frontier game, and they've even already collabed with the other game, 7 Nights Adventure. So this one is almost a given. Will it happen this year? Maybe not. They might wait until the game's actually out, maybe later on in towards 2026. But once again, I think if we're going to get another IP, this one is also more likely as well. And that is it for Netmarble IPs. There are still obviously more games that Netmarble does own, but those I think are the only reasonable ones we could see come towards the game. Now let's move over towards our second options of collaborations, and that is through Kodansha. Kodansha, of course, like I said, owns 7 Days Sins, and it also owns a few of the collaborations we've already got it in game, such as Attack on Titan, and also That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, which is kind of the reason why we got those collaborations, and pretty much the reason why we got those collaborations first. Kodansha has a list of actual animes and mangas that we could possibly see in Grand Cross, and I'm not going to name off the ones that are popular. I'm going to name off the ones that actually are realistic, and those are Fairy Tail and also Eden Zero. This one, I'm surprised, hasn't come to the game at all in the last like 5 years of the game. Is it possible? Sure, to my knowledge, I don't think Fairy Tail has done that many collabs in the recent years. But it is always a possibility, even if it's a small one. Shangri-La Frontier. Yep, it's owned by Kodansha. In fact, a lot of the marketing was actually with the release of 4 Nights of Apocalypse, the anime, because they both get one at the same time. And it's kind of the reason why Netmarble got the actual game in the first place, because they have ties towards Kodansha and he gave them the IP. So I think, once again, this kind of ticking the box for 2 actual collaboration possibilities. This one's very likely too. I'll mention it because it's popular, but Blue Lock, I don't think they do collabs, so I'm not expecting it, but that is one of the other big IPs they own. Fire Force is one I think is actually also likely. It's also owned by Kodansha. It's also very popular. It's also getting its final season. Not that I think we get collaboration because the anime is airing, but I have seen a fair few of actual Fire Force collaborations, so I will not be surprised if this one's to come to the game. I'm not too sure if it was one, but it's possible. Tokyo Rangers. Tokyo Rangers has kind of, I think, fallen off a little bit. It is one of the bigger IPs towards Kodansha, at least in the past, I guess. And I've seen quite a few actual Tokyo Rangers collaborations, just not in recent times. So I don't know if we're going to get one this year, but once again, it is a possibility. Now let's move on towards our Netflix collaboration. So the only Netflix collaboration we've gotten is Stranger Things, and well, yeah, that's basically it. I don't think we're going to get any more, but I guess I thought I'd mention two of them that I think are not likely, but worth mentioning. First one is Cyberpunk Edge Honors. They've done like one collab, two collabs maybe. I don't know. It's like the only Netflix collab I could see us actually getting. And in terms of actual animes that give out that IP quite a lot, that might not even be through Netflix and might be towards our fourth option later on. But Neon Genesis Evangelion, they do a lot of collaborations. Alright, and then the final option is what I'm calling the third-party collaborations. These are basic collabs that, one, aren't owned by Shueisha, so they are not owned by a massive publisher or a competing publisher that Netmarble can get their hands on. And these are basic collaborations that, if we're being honest, guys, they've collabed with 90% of other gacha games. If you search up collabs with gacha games, a lot of the ones that we've gotten and we possibly could be getting have already collabed with a lot of gacha games. And once again, some of them will not be surprised if we get them. So of course, the collaboration we've already got it in game are Re:Zero, Overlord, Mushoku Tensei, and also Shield Hero. And once again, guys, you've probably played a gacha game that has done collaborations, especially with Slime or even Overlord. It happens so often. These IPs are handed around just everywhere, basically. However, there are still a few more animes that are still handed out quite often that we've not yet gotten, and these are the ones. The first one is Konosuba. Konosuba, I think, is almost a given. If they had the opportunity, they would actually happen here, because it's in the same bracket as, like, you know, Shield Hero, Overlord, Re:Zero, Mushoku Tensei, and funny enough, I think even in the Isekai quartets, they're a part of it as well. We just seemingly get every IP from the actual show, basically. But yeah, Konosuba is possible. The four main characters are just pretty much a given. It works so well towards Grand Cross, and yeah, it's possible. The next one, and I know a few people wanted it, and I think it's probably going to happen at one point in the future, given the chance, and that is Eminence in Shadow. It's one that I think kind of blew up out of nowhere, and I think even got added, like I just said, towards Isekai quartets, one of the newer ones. But yeah, it's one that I've seen since it is a relatively newer IP. It's done quite a few collaborations already. It fits in that bracket of having like an Isekai fantasy one that, once again, will just work in Grand Cross. And like I just say, given an opportunity, if we were to eventually get a collaboration, this could be one. The next one I'm not sold on, but they've done, I've seen a few collaborations. Goblin Slayer. I personally wouldn't want to see it, but like, it could happen. And then the final collaboration, and this is kind of a reason why I wanted to make this video, because this actually probably is the biggest collaboration we can ever get in 17's Grand Cross. That's actually realistic. You know, everyone wants to say they want to see Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, you know, Black Clover, for example, but those aren't realistic because they are owned by Shueisha. However, this anime is not owned by a big publisher. They're actually now starting to give out that IP quite often. It fits in that fantasy, it fits in that third party, and that is Frieren. Frieren is, once again, I mean, is it the biggest anime? It is, at least on my anime list. And oh my god, this would be an actual insane collaboration. Not only is it one of my favorite animes, and probably you lots as well, it's just such a good anime. And I've seen recently, within like the last end of the year, going into this year as well, they are now starting to give out that IP quite often. We've seen it with Guardian Tales, another collaboration. And of course, the biggest one that I think has made it more popular and realistic now, and that was, of course, Slime Isekai Memories. They've just done one, and oh my god, the quality that Slime Isekai put in towards the actual Frieren collaboration, it really does put to shame how bad our collabs are in Grand Cross. But honestly, I think this will break Grand Cross. Frieren collaboration with Frieren, Fern, Stark, and the fourth one could be Himmel, but like, I would love to see Ubel. Oh my god, the Ubel. Well, actually, Ian. Yeah, this is one. It has to happen. So yeah, those ones I named off are like, I think are actually possible. The next ones are still in the third party, but a bit more niche and could happen. So I'll name them off anyway. First one, Date Alive. I mean, at one point, there was planned to be a Date Alive collaboration, at least in the beta leaks. Low, that don't really mean anything. But Date Alive, since I am actually invested into the series, I do tend to follow whenever they do collaborations. And they've done quite a lot in the past. Not so much frequently, but if it's going to happen, it could happen. Next one is Near. This one, I think, is... I don't know who to add. I guess they would just add 2B, the robot, and the other A2, whatever it actually is. But this one, I mean, you've seen it a lot. You actually probably played a gacha game where you had a Near collaboration. So yeah, seeing 2B in Grand Cross is basically just a better mono. It will look cool.
Full Metal Alchemist.
This one is a little bit possible. Netmarble has already done a collaboration with Full Metal Alchemist on the other games. At least I know personally, I think the licensing or like the reason why they get collaboration is through Square Enix. So in terms of it coming towards Grand Cross, I don't think there's anything holding it back. Once again, I think the stuff we named already, there's just things more likely to this one. Code Geass, yeah, I would love to see it in game. They once again do quite a few collaborations, not too much, not the one that gets handed out quite often. Once again, kind of in the same situation as Full Metal Alchemist, like it's possible, but I do think a lot less likely. And I'll mention it because it's always in a topic, but even I don't think it is. Fate. Yeah, I mean, they do collabs. I personally think, considering that, Star Rail has gotten the license towards actual Fate and announced it so much in advance, I feel like they've literally paid the Fate licensing to do no collabs with anyone until they get that collab. So I'm not expecting it. And yeah, guys, that is basically it in terms of collaboration we could possibly see. Now let's talk about leaks, because we do have a few. Okay, so this is from the beta leak. Lance has leaked it, and well, as you can read, my leaker is not allowing me to share the next collabs, but I'm allowed to give 2 hints. 2 of these shows will return or collab with Grand Cross in 2025. And the lineup he has laid out is King of Fighters, ReZero, AOT, Fire Force, Frieren, and Teenage Mercenary, which I think is a webtoon, which I don't think is possible. But once again, going off what we said already at the start of the video, where we're more likely to see new collaborations, I think King of Fighters probably not going to happen. ReZero, I think, will happen this year in terms of a rerun, and we'll talk about that in a second because it is more hints towards it. AOT, probably not going to happen. And then the 2 new collaborations we could see, I guess, here are Fire Force and, of course, Frieren. Frieren, I've already mentioned, is in that third party, but then Fire Force, like I did say, is also in that actual IP collaboration that gives out IP sometimes, and also is with Kodansha. So I do think Fire Force is more likely, and if anything, if I had to guess out of this list, if we're following the leak here, it'd probably be Fire Force and ReZero. But I would once again love an actual Frieren collaboration. And then jumping over towards another leaker, and that is Kevin. If you lot watch the channel a lot, we've talked about Kevin a lot. He's the one who actually works at Netmarble and has given out a few hints, even actually teasing the dual character. And once again, just a trusted leaker. Like, it's not a leaker, he works in Netmarble. Like, literally, what he says is true. Although, of course, way he worded this one is possible collaborations, which means this isn't exactly guaranteed. But yeah, possible one is ReZero. Once again, I think this is a given. ReZero should be returning. And I think will be the only returning collaboration we see this year. Limbus Company. I think this is another gacha game. This is completely out of nowhere, but hey, he's got inside sources. Do I hope it happens? Probably not, but you know, hey, that's not what we have right now. And then of course Soul Leveling, once again going back to what we said early on, Netmarble has made a game for Soul Leveling, and it's very likely at some point they're going to collab in the future. And like I just said at the start of the video, he does say, I like Soul Leveling, but I don't want it as a collaboration. Well, too bad you're getting it soon, so if anything, I expect a Soul Leveling collaboration in January. So yeah, guys, that is it for today's video. That is all the possible collaborations. Well, I guess there's one more, and I guess one I don't want to see come towards the game because, well, it's probably when the game shuts down, and that is Persona 5. Guys, thank you for watching, and yeah.